You will never get rich working a job. And you hear people say this all the time, but they're just trying to scare you into buying their Make Money Online course. But nobody actually ever tells you the logical and reasonable reasons why you can never get rich working a job. And if you don't know who I am, my name's Tyler. I've made multiple six figures online with my online life business. And on this channel, I make shirtless videos showing you how to use your knowledge and skills to make money online. And most importantly, enjoying your life at the same time, which is why I don't wear a shirt, because I'm in tropical Florida and life is better without a shirt. So let's dive into this. So the first thing is what I really want you guys to wrap your head around here and understand what goes into this and the reasons why you can never get rich working a job is because when you work a job, you are paid based off of the skills that you have, which is a positive. But the downside is that you are paid based on the time that you put in. And so what happens here is this ends up giving you your hourly wage or your salary. When I first understood this, I, in high school, worked as a cashier and a bagger at a grocery store. And so what happened is I was running a register, I was bagging groceries, that was my skill. And the time that I put in, plus my skill of running a register, earned me $12 an hour. Then, when you have the managers, right? Obviously, I quit that when I was 17, but if I would have stayed there, I definitely would have been a manager rather quickly, because when I do things all in, and everybody loved me and they promoted me very quickly. But even with all of that, even how that might be you right now, you might be that person and you're like, I deserve to make more money for what I'm doing, but for whatever reason, you're not. And the reason why here is because even as a manager, their skill is managing people, but they're still working based off of time, and they make $25 an hour, right? And that was the managers who were making more than me. And that was what I was promised, in high school going up. Oh, get into management, maybe even get into corporate. And problem is, I'm still tied down to time. Even though my skill is improving and my skills are getting better, I'm still tied down to time. And so when that happened, I kind of realized, and I kind of came to the conclusion that, well, my income is always going to cap out no matter how high of a job title that I have, because my income was tied to my time and my skills, which land you in an hourly wage or a salary position. So when I started making online with my online life business, this was my new income formula. Now, instead of time, I'm replacing it with knowledge. So my knowledge plus my skills. And this is how you make real money. This is how you make money in the quote unquote real world and in the online world as well. Because the people who make the most amount of money are paid based off of the knowledge, skills, experience, expertise, wisdom that they have, not based off of the time that they give you. And so when this happened, I realized that I can get paid for my knowledge instead of my time, because time is limited. We all have 24 hours in a day, but you can always gain more knowledge, gain more skills, gain more expertise, meaning that your income potential is unlimited instead of being capped out like I was making $12 an hour, or the promise of 25 an hour, or corporate and making 50 to 100 an hour. Well, maybe corporate's going to be going into a salary, but the point is that I left all that behind to pursue real money and to pursue a better life, which is knowledge and skills. And the crazy thing is, a lot of us already have plenty of knowledge. It's just being applied in the wrong things. Like, you may have incredible knowledge about health. Like, I have tons of knowledge about health, but I don't teach health, right? It's just not something that I do. It's something that I'm very passionate about and I'm very into and I talk to tons of people about, but it's not how I make my money. You may be passionate about helping people plan their weddings or events and have incredible events, and that may be something that you're passionate about. And you're very knowledgeable about it, and you have the skills to do it, but you're working a job doing something else. And then your knowledge is therefore not being put to use. And so then you end up just going back to being paid for your time plus whatever skills you're doing at that job, and you're stuck in an hourly wage salary. So if we can put your knowledge to good use, your knowledge, your skills, your expertise, what you're passionate about, that's where you can really find real money and truly enjoy your life at the same time. You don't want to build an online business that is soul sucking. And I've done that. I've been there. And the tipping point for me was when I made $24,000 in a week, and you're chasing these numbers, you're chasing these big goals, and then you hit it and nothing changes. You'd think your life's going to change. You know, we had my first 2K day, and I was like, man, life is going to be so great when I hit 5K. And then I hit 5K in a day. And I'm like, man, life is going to be so great when I hit 8K. And then we hit 8K in a day. And the point is, it just keeps going, right? And funny enough, I never hit the mystical 10K day. I hit 9K in a day. And guess what? I didn't feel any better than I did when I hit 5K in a day. In fact, I probably actually felt worse, because the more money that I made, I was continuing to hope that when I made that next milestone, then happiness would be unlocked. Then all my dreams would come true. And the problem is that that's not how it works. It's because you have to actually enjoy life, and you have to actually love what you're doing, and you have to actually, that's why I built an online life business and rebuilt my business, tore it down, rebuilt it, so that I could actually enjoy my life. And in order to do that, I had to burn down everything and restructure it and do it in a way to allow me to actually enjoy my life and not spend time on my business. Because what I ended up doing was I just ended up building myself a job. I took my skills that I had, and I took my knowledge that I had as well, but it was still tied into a lot of time spent, and I built myself into a job. And so then what I had to do was I had to go back to getting paid for my knowledge and my skills rather than my time and my skills. And now I can make real money, and real money that actually allows me to enjoy life, not just making money just for the sake of making money, but making money to gain memories so that I can build my bank of memories, because memories is the most valuable asset that you own. If you didn't watch my last video on that, it was a really good video. You should definitely watch it. It's only a few minutes long, but it will change your entire perspective on life. I think it was called, this book changed my entire perspective on life. And then the other thing that we have that a lot of people don't talk about, once again, the reason why you're never actually going to make money online, the reason why you're never going to actually make money from a job is because of taxes. And you might have heard that before, like, okay, taxes, write everything off, yeah. But have you actually done the math? It's kind of wild. So once again, here we go up to this where, like I mentioned earlier, let's say I was, getting promised manager and corporate and all this stuff, and let's say I did move up that ladder and I did do that. Well, not only would I have not been able to move across the entire United States, I would be location dependent. Just 3 weeks ago, I just moved from California to Florida, and in search of freedom. And if I was in that manager position, in that corporate position, I wouldn't have been able to do that, number one. And number two, what would happen is my taxes, let's say, you make corporate money, right? And they're like, oh, corporate money, so good. You make all this money, and nobody talks about taxes. It's literally like 40 to 50%, especially if you live in a high income tax state like like California. So Florida doesn't have income taxes, but California does. And so you get the federal taxes, plus you get the state income taxes on that, plus you get the social security taxes on that, plus you get sales tax whenever you spend whatever money is left over. It's absolutely wild. And so what can happen is, and keep in mind, none of this is tax advice. I'm not legally allowed to give that. But this is me just sharing my experience from going from a W-2 employee to a 1099 or business owner. This is what happens. And so let's say that with the corporate money, let's say you're making corporate money. What's a good corporate wage that you want to hit for? Let's say you want to hit 20K a month, right? Which is roughly 240K a year. So if you're pulling numbers like this, and obviously it depends state to state, but you would have to look and you'd be hitting at least 40% in taxes. So immediately, let me do the math on that. Your 240K a year goes into $144,000. Like right off the bat, you just all this money is going to taxes. So you have $144,000 left, right? So now what do? Now what does that mean? Well, that means you have $144K to spend on your things, on your life. And when you spend that money, you get charged sales tax, right? And so, let's do this. You spend, and you still get charged sales tax. Now, if you're a business owner, or you're self-employed, 1099, right? Different tax statuses. But if you're a business owner, and you make that same 240K a year, a lot of times what you can do is you're not necessarily paying less taxes, but what you're doing is you're writing off a lot of your business expenses, which a lot of times, and this is me not insinuating anything, but a lot of times your business expenses and your personal expenses can overlap. Meaning this phone that I bought, this phone is used for business, meaning I can write off my phone. So meaning if the phone was $1,000, instead of $240, I have $239 in income. So I pay less taxes, so I get to keep, a little bit more money, right? 40% in taxes, something like that, right? So I get to keep a little bit more money because I am lowering my taxable income. And so that's just a phone. Think about a car. Think about this computer. Think about this camera equipment that I have. Like I could do all this I could do it all from my phone and a computer, and that would be fine. But think of all of the expenses that can overlap personal and business expenses. You can take business trips. You can go out for business dinners and meals. And you can start lowering your taxable income. So even though your money that you're spending, and what I forgot to add earlier too, your spend goes up because you spent that $1,000 on the phone. Instead of income, it's actually an expense that you spent. So what happens is you're spending money, and these numbers can totally be off. I'm just putting these numbers out here, so don't hold me to it, all right? But let's say your spending numbers go up because your taxable income goes down. And so what happens is if you make 240K a year, you make corporate money, 20K a month, 240K a year, you're paying 40% in taxes and you only have $144,000 to spend. Plus when you spend it, you get charged sales tax. Now, with your business, with your self-employed, what happens is you're spending, your income is seen as only $130,000 per year because you are spending, wait, that wouldn't be right. There we go. Is only seen as $140,000 per year, even though you really earned $240,000. It's only seen as $140 in the eyes of the government, So you are able to spend a lot more money. So you just increased your spending power by 35%. Instead of spending 144,000 in your pocket, you got 200,000 in your pocket to spend. And so this is a thing that, like I said, people don't break this down. People don't talk about this. They talk about these make money online, become a business owner, so they can sell you an online course, but they don't actually show you, like, why would you want to do it, right? They show you about making all the big money and the unlimited income potential, and that's all fine and great and true, 100%. I have lived that. I understand. I have lived that firsthand. I've made multiple six figures online, built a multiple six-figure online business. I get it. But they don't talk about these things, and these things are the most important things. These are the real reasons why you should be making money online. You should be a business owner. You should be self-employed. These are the real reasons. And now you understand how important this is and the actual logical reasons behind it, because I am a logical guy, as I'm sure you are too if you're still watching. So I totally get that. And as logical people, a lot of times we get wrapped up in the logistics of things, but we don't actually tap into our emotional side as much and enjoying life and getting the most out of life and enjoying the memories and building the memories. And so with that, what I want you to do is go ahead and watch this video here next that I just posted. It's called "This Book Changed My Entire Perspective on Life." It is 5 minutes long and it will change your entire perspective on life. And then also, if you want to get a beginner's guide on how to make money online and enjoy your life, which is the most important part, go ahead and there's a link in the description. You can click on that. It's just another YouTube video I have, and you'll be able to learn exactly how to do that, exactly how I do that, and you can just literally copy me. So with all that said, go do those things, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.